Welcome to a new episode of the Startup Show. Today I'm here at Impact Hub Zurich, meeting with the co-founders of WeWent. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Cedric. Thanks for hosting us.
Welcome back to a new episode of the Startup Show. Today we are here at the Impact Hub. I have the big pleasure to meet you guys. It's a big pleasure. I don't have too many women on the Startup Show, so it's great to have some women. Let's get right into the show. Explain us to my audience a little bit who you guys are.
Thanks for hosting again. This is Bilge Apak. I'm from Turkey. I'm living in Zurich for 7 years. I studied computer science back in Istanbul. I'm raised and studied in Turkey. And then I moved to Munich. That's where I met Ola. And then I ended up here working for a big corporate company.
Okay, cool. What brought you to Zurich? Was it corporate or entrepreneurship,
Yes.
or both together?
No, it was only corporate, to be honest. There was an opportunity to move to Zurich from Munich, and I took it.
Very good.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the difference between Istanbul and Zurich.
It's very different. It's a totally different lifestyle. There's no chaos here. There's a lot of chaos in Istanbul.
We have a lot of cows on the mountains, but okay, cool. So tell me a little bit about your co-founder.
Hi everybody, I'm Ola Potrykus, or Aleksandra Potrykus. I'm from Poland, and similar to Bilge, I came from Munich 10 years ago to Zurich. Also, corporate job brought me here. I have a background in economics, but I work in HR, in the corporate environment. Actually, the connection between HR and IT brought us to build a startup, but more about that later.
So, I mean, it's a perfect segue. So let's hear a little bit about WeWent, like what you guys do exactly.
Mm-hmm. WeWent is a marketplace for group experiences. Mm-hmm. And this started 2 years ago, I think, with the idea of me going to Ola, telling her, look, I think there's a gap. We become in the corporate world very separated every day, and we enjoy a lot this team events, team building events. Mm-hmm. And it's such a hard time for us to go and find exactly what we need. You know, we have these offsite meetings as international groups. When we come together, we really want to do something that brings us together, bonds us together, because we get this chance a couple of times in a year to see each other. So the effort to find such events takes a lot of time. You know, I went with this idea because I have the IT background and everything. I said, you know, you are the HR mind and I know how you are good at it. Let's do something about it.
So tell me, what was the solution? Like, what did you come up with? Like, what can you find on this marketplace now?
We actually started from a bit of a pain point, right? Because if you put yourself in the shoes of a person who books events, it takes a long time. First, you need to do research. You need to even know what you're looking for. And only then, when you're clear on that, you start looking for the providers who can do it. And actually, what we want to help with our potential bookers is help them to speed up the process of booking. So what they will do is they either can filter by location, by number of participants, but they can go more specific. So we have categories, over 20 categories, for example, outdoor, mindfulness, leadership, relaxation, so you name it. Sky's the limit. And then you have also the objectives. So let's say maybe for a corporate event, it will be conflict management or bonding, yeah? And then if you think about a family get together, you might think, okay, creativity, we want to do something different. So you really filter, but you have one-stop shop where you find everything, all the events that are available in a location.
Right. So give me maybe like a very simple example of, like, let's say I have a team of, let's say, 6-7 people, and I decide I want to do some team bonding adventure. What could I book on your site?
Exactly. You go to the site and you think about what you want, because this is another problem, the discovery, because many teams end up doing bowling night or going for a wine and dinner.
Okay.
You get into the site, you look at what is available, and if you want adventure, there's, for example, basic survival training that you can go for a day, even over a night, be in the forest with your team, and that will be real bonding, I suppose.
So what do I have to, I mean, like, I've never done like a survival camp. What do people do there?
It's hard for me to give all the details for an event because we are a marketplace, but yeah, our providers are really
the specialists of the industry, and they
cool.
will really lead you through it. So our job is really to find the guys who do those interesting events, those talents who really sell and provide experiences to others. But you will be able to see on our website exactly what is included in the event, what is excluded, what to expect, how to prepare yourself. So you'll read it all on the website.
Mm-hmm. So you started about 2 years ago? maybe you give us a little bit of background, like how you founded it, like in terms of like money, in terms of where you stand today, in terms of development, what stage you are. That would be pretty interesting to hear.
So 2 years ago was the idea only,
Exactly.
right? And we had to test the idea. We did a market research, and then we said, let's go and join this startup initiatives, Startup Weekend, probably where we went there for a weekend and pitched the idea, and we got the 3rd place and best pitch award.
Really?
Yeah, so that gave us the kick,
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is really reasonable. And we talked probably like 10 different mentors there. It was amazing.
It was really
And all of
excellent.
them were giving us a big go. They were supposed to sit with us for 50 minutes, but one of them sit with us for 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
that was the start. At the moment, Aleksandra Ola was 7 months pregnant.
Okay.
So we were actually 2.5 women on the stage when we got the award because I have a daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was a huge milestone for us. First of all, getting the feedback and coaching. Secondly, hearing you guys have a great and simple idea, go for it. Comments like, don't lose your corporate jobs, because at the moment, actually, this benefits you, and your experience in the corporate world also will benefit the startup, was a great eye-opening feedback to us. And from that, the network started expanding, and we continue using the network today. Timo, that does Wider, for example, is somebody that we reach out to on a regular basis to exchange experiences. There are some mentors that we keep in touch. If we are really stuck and want to ask a question, they're available. So the power of networking really was born in the Startup Weekend, and we continue on that journey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You took on the challenge of building a marketplace. A marketplace usually has a demand, a supply side. Yeah. How does it work? We once had an interview with the guys from Movo.ch. We talked a little bit about there. There's always one side you have to let's say encourage a little bit more till you get like this actual marketplace. So how do you guys do that? What does it look like by you?
It's a really pain point, and I have to say, there's no one good solution for marketplaces, and we learn, to be honest, as we go.
Yes.
I read a lot about marketplaces during my master's in IE. There's a big emphasis on the entrepreneurship there, and I learned about marketplaces there, and I thought I knew everything about it. But once you start, you understand you don't know anything. So it's great to try things and you go for it. For us, it's hard. We try to get the providers in, and also we try to get bookers on one side, but without providers, you will not get bookers. So again, network, I think, is the best thing. You go out with your network, people who you would trust from number one day, and they sign up for it.
Right.
And you go with those people and start to create also demand on the other side.
It feels sometimes a bit schizophrenic for me, because I think I've nailed down the provider side, and suddenly I'm like, oh, but what about the bookers, And it's always, keeping the balance between the two, communicating to both. And actually today we have an event where we invited both sides, because we really believe those groups coming together can benefit from each other, right? So it's going to be a bit of networking, a bit of getting to know each other, just seeing what providers offer, what talents do they bring, but also helping the providers to understand the pain points of the bookers, right? So why does it take so long to book an event? How long do I need? How much money can I spend? All of that. So yeah, really, really excited about today.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting place, because when you look at, for example, I think it was Airbnb, what they did, they hacked they had some growth hack with what's called Craigslist.
Yes,
so they found all these people that wanted to rent out their apartment.
Absolutely.
And they offered so maybe, is there anything like you can say like that worked the best for us, or is it really acquire one by one on both sides?
What we know that it works best if you go and talk to people face to face, especially in Switzerland. So this is not easy thing, right? You have limited time.
Very hard to schedule.
Especially when you work in a corporate world.
Yes.
Although we have other members of the team who helps us, we don't have time to go and talk to people. So it's tough. There is no growth hacking model that we found. But what we know, the best is to go and talk to people, either by email, you get the first time to talk to them, and then you make it face to face.
And maybe I can build on that, because when we really started creating the idea, there was one really important thought for us, and it's a bit of a vision. It's about human connection. And it's true not only to the business model where we connect providers and bookers, but it's also very important for us as a company. We need to, and we have to, and we want to connect to others, because through the connection we really build the network and the demand and the supply as well. So that's what we are holding through to us.
It's actually all about human connection, because we came with this idea because with the digital raise, with the technology every day, we use WhatsApp to talk to another person. I love WhatsApp, by the way, because that brings people together, but it's through technology. And
Sure.
even at work, I email to my colleagues, and why don't I?
Why don't I get an answer? Yes.
You really need to spend time with people now. You know, all the researchers say people now, especially millennials, buy experiences. They don't like to buy materials, and that tells a lot. And the people are looking for more value in the work they do, and so it's all about now human connection, getting back to our basics, being together and spending time together.
So I want to wrap up the show with one last question about being an entrepreneur while still being in a corporate world, which is definitely an interesting combination. I think many people struggle with it because they only know corporate, they only know entrepreneurship, but there's many things in between, and you guys are the perfect example. So maybe you can give us 1 or 2 sentences each about how that feels and what that means on a day-to-day life when you're doing both.
1 and 2 sentences is hard. I mean, we love our jobs in the corporate world. I mean, corporate has a lot of disadvantages, let's face it, but what we do at our work, we love it. So we don't want to leave it at the first place. And the second is, this is one way of bootstrapping our baby. We don't, I mean, you have to find the right balance when things better to go for one.
Yeah.
But when do you work, like just, I know it's a basic and it's very easy for you to answer, but for my audience, time-wise, how often do you work, like I guess you go to work at some point and you work on your startup, when is what?
It has to be the weekends, it has to be the evenings, and I caught myself the other day, I was super tired, and I'm a mom, right? So I end my work day, I go home, and it's still intense until 8 or 9 p.m. And I'm extremely exhausted, but I sit down on my sofa and I'm like, no, I have to write an email, I have to connect to my, to my bookers and so on. So as long as I love what I'm doing, it's not difficult for me. People ask me at work, like, how do you do it? Where do you find energy? I don't know. It just happens. It's probably the passion that drives it. But let's be honest, it's not easy.
I think it's a great wrap. If you love your work, you don't work a day in your life, which is definitely a beautiful way to end this show for today. Guys, thank you very much for coming and being on the Startup Show. Thank you very much for watching, for tuning in for this Startup Show. And I'll see you very soon with a new episode. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.